We have done it. The Spurs are down. The Spurs are down. Hallelujah. The St. Tottenham's Day that we all celebrated this past Sunday on Championship Sunday. We waited till last week, but we did it. Welcome, everyone, to the American Gooners Podcast. I'm your host, Zach. Here with the true Gooner himself, Morgan Garber. Morgan, we are above Spurs for the 21st season, and what a glorious day it was.
We have been waiting all week for this episode to rub it in their face. It wasn't the season we hoped for, but that was the best that we could have done, and we took advantage of it.
I have to say, I have to do a public apology because going into the match, I thought we had no shot of catching the Spurs. I didn't think they were going to lose, and I had reservations if we were going to win, and I figured that we were playing for third or fourth. And then we win 4-0, and they lose 5-1 to Newcastle, relegated Newcastle, and I'm just going crazy the whole time, and it was just beautiful. And then of course the celebration began. I started celebrating when it was 3-1 Newcastle. I won't lie.
I was at work, so I was listening to it, and you could hear the fans in the background cheering when nothing was going on in our game. And the announcers were like, Newcastle must have scored. And like 30 seconds later, it was 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. And the crowd's going crazy, and there's nothing going on. They're like, yep, Newcastle must have done it.
Once the water started flowing, the floodgates bursted wide open in both matches.
And they were down to 10 men, too.
Yeah.
That's what made it worse.
I will say this about our match. It wasn't a great match. I mean, you look at the scoreline, it's 4-0, but, I watched from start to finish. It was a great 5 minutes, first 5 minutes of the match, and then it was a great last 25 minutes. In between that, it was stressful, typical Arsenal. I'm yelling at my TV, just shoot the damn ball. They're trying to walk it into the net, making extra passes when they didn't need to. Ozil left a couple sitters just sitting there, decided to pass it off instead. And so I'm a little bashing. It's hard to bash a 4-0 win. But in between the 4 goals, there was a lot of the same stuff we saw all season long. But got to give credit where credit is due. Olivier Giroud got a hat trick.
He did it again.
Against the last place team. Congratulations, Giroud. You can play with the relegation teams. You're the man.
Was that like 6 goals and 2 assists in his last 3 matches or something?
So what?
Then he had a goal and assist and 2 goals and then a hat trick.
No, he didn't have 2 goals.
I thought he had a brace a game or 2 ago.
He had the assist to Welbeck. Then he had the 1 goal, 1 assist against City. And then 3 goals here. So it's 4 goals, 2 assists.
3.
4 goals, 2 assists overall the last 3, which is still outstanding. But, I mean, we had nothing left to play for. You're not playing for a title anymore. You're not playing for top 4 anymore. And that seems to be when we play at our best. When there's absolutely no pressure, Arsenal is the best team in the league. You put them in a pressure cooker, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. But hey, we won. We overtook Tottenham. Tottenham lost 5-1 to a 10-man Newcastle. Oh, Tottenham tears taste so sweet. I tell you what, man.
I had a buddy, and I told you about him on our Two Blue and OSU. Colin O'Brien, talking smack, sending me memes of Arsenal, of a man falling down like the side of a cliff or something, saying this is Arsenal's season, just falling down the standings. And who got the last laugh? Mr. Colin O'Brien, who got the last laugh?
Forget the last laugh. Tottenham completely fell apart to end the season. I'm not talking about just the last match. The last few weeks, they've been like just a bad team. What we saw when we first started this podcast, and I was saying they look like one of the best teams in the league. They did a complete 180. They look terrible down the stretch.
Yeah.
And then once they lost the title chance, they got even worse.
Yeah, it all kind of like they were starting to go downhill, but the end of the road was when they had a chance to gain a couple points on Leicester City, and they only came away with the tie, so they didn't gain any points. And then after that, it was just downhill. They had nothing else to play for. They kind of played a lot of unmotivating soccer or football, while Arsenal kind of had a lackluster season, but they still had something to play for. They did not want to finish below Tottenham and ending the 21-year streak. And they already had a season when they came away with 0 trophies. So that's all they had to play for was St. Tottenham's Day. And they did it.
And in a season like this, where it's been so roller coaster, so up and down, the end of a season like that is, I'm happy and disappointed and frustrated and excited all at the same time. So it perfectly fits the mold of how our season went, and I'm glad we finished above time, and I'm glad we finished second. And here's what I can say is, the last 3 seasons we've gone 4th, 3rd, and now 2nd. So only 1 spot left to go up. We got to do it, Morgan. Next year has to be the year.
I seen a thing on Instagram the other day that I showed you, and the Arsenal supporter group put up a picture, and this page was all 4 Wenger saying in, and had a picture of, I forget who it was, alcohol, and it was like the best season in 11 seasons. Like, oh, yep, I'm going to sip my tea because we had our best season. In 11 seasons, and you're happy with that? This is your best season in 11 years, and you're happy about it. 11 freaking years, and you're happy?
And we still finished 10 points behind the champions. Like, we finished second, yeah, no doubt. We overtook Tottenham, cool. We're in the Champions League, awesome. You're still 10 points behind the champions to end the year, and people are bragging about it.
Yeah.
Just downright bragging about it. But let's be honest. With the way that season ended, Wenger's going to stay. And unfortunately, now he has an excuse to keep Giroud. He can point and see, oh, look, Giroud's a great striker.
Oh.
Look at him. He's so great. But I will again give credit where credit is due. I kind of got nervous after that last match. I was like, oh, God, here comes the summer of nothingness. He's going to use this push as see, my team is ready to compete for a title now. This group right here. But he did come out and said, we're going to sign 3 or 4 key players. And he says that
all midfielders.
I hope you're wrong. Our first one obviously will be a midfielder. Xhaka's he's gonna sign for us. We're gonna have another one of those holding midfielders to play around with. I don't know where he's gonna find
Conte might get stolen away from. I think Juventus is trying to make a push for Conte to take him away from Leicester City.
Real Madrid,
it was too. Yeah, so there's a lot of push for him now. So it's not just us. So he's going to have some money thrown at him.
Here's my thing, though. Why would you go to Real Madrid to sit the bench? Conte's not getting in that starting 11.
No.
Right now they have Isco, Cruz. James seems to be on the board to go elsewhere. But you still have who's the other one? They have Cruz, Isco, and he's a big Modric. Luka Modric.
Luka Modric.
Starter. You're not going to break into that starting 11.
No.
You might as well stay at Tottenham or Leicester, at Leicester, or go to a team like West Ham, who's building something I think is going to be pretty great. But I was happy to hear Wenger actually come out and say, I am going to sign 3 or 4 guys, and they're going to be high-valued guys. The checkbook is wide open. So we'll see if he actually does it. I hope it's not just Xhaka, and then we're done.
Yeah, I actually hope we can kind of build our back lineup a little better. That's what I'm hoping for this year. Yes, I would like to go up top with Sanchez, or in case Sanchez leaves, someone to fill in for him. But I think a back four is a must. They have to do something. They had to bring in some players.
You know, I agree with you on that stance. But with a Danny Welbeck injury and Theo Walcott possibly being gone, striker is now a must. You can't play 38 matches plus Champions League plus FA Capital One Cup with Olivier Giroud as your only striker. You can't do it. So striker is now striker's a must. If we go Xhaka, a striker and two back defenders, that's ideal for me.
Oh, that's I'll be happy with that. I think they should definitely go after some players, but I think the big thing for them right now is going out to someone in the back line and trying to keep Sanchez and Ozil. That's what I would say should be their main focus, on keeping those two players, or trying to at least keep one of the two, and then kind of see what happens. So if Ozil stays and Sanchez leaves, you know what your main focus should be. If Sanchez stays and Ozil leaves, you know what your main focus should be. So
I think if we lose Ozil, I think we can still get away with the team we have in the midfield while bringing Xhaka in, because then you could play Xhaka and a combination of Coquelin, Xhaka, Ramsey, Wilshere, El Nini in those back two roles, and then you still have Santi Cazorla who can still play Cam. I like him more for that more central midfield and not attacking midfield, but he can play it. He has done it before, and he's obviously a great creator and a quick twitch athlete too. He is getting up there in age though, so that is a position for the future that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, it'll be tough what they decide to do. It'll be really interesting, especially if Conte decides to come here too. So Zaha and Conte both come here. I think that'll definitely give them a much needed boost going into next season. But you can't just be happy if you're Wenger. You can't just be happy with this team, because you know that Man City and Man U are going out and going to spend upwards of $200 million just to bring in some players.
Oh, Pep is coming in guns blazing, dude. Pep is going to tear down the parts he does not like, and he is going to bring in a plethora of talent from around the world. I mean, Barcelona's looking to offload 5 guys. He might just start pillaging from Barcelona, bringing them to Man City, and we'll be in trouble then.
I'm actually nervous for next season, especially if we don't. I mean, here we are, happy to second. Okay, there's one more spot to go. Just first place is left.
I mean, shit, at least compete for it. 10 points. Yeah. Like, if we lose by like 2, maybe a game, if we get 3 points down at the end, somewhere in that vicinity, I mean, what can we say? We competed for it. It just didn't go our way. Somebody just was better for a game or 2. I won't even say 2. 6 points would be still unacceptable in my opinion. If we're anything above 3 points from first next year, it's going to be disappointing. It has to be. We can't keep doing this.
So for next year, so what you're saying is, as long as we compete for the title, it's almost a win.
I mean, I hate saying it that way, but I'd rather see us competing for the title than celebrating a second place finish where we're still 10 points back. Like if you lose out on the title by like 2 or 3 points, I mean, they were just better than you for a game. That's all that means. Like, all right, we're 1 game away. And I'll be disappointed, obviously, but I won't sit here and completely bash the team like we have been the last 8 weeks, which is necessary because the team did not live up to expectations. Yeah, we finished second, but again, 10 points It's a lot of points to lose to the league title. It's not acceptable. Not for a big club. Not for 20 straight years of Champions League football, whatever the hell it's been. No, if you're that team that is consistently in Europe, consistently in the top four, you need to at least be competing for the title because we're not going to win it every year. It's not going to happen. I wish it would, but it's not going to. Not in the EPL, at least. If we were in the league or something, we might be able to. But
Yeah.
if we're competing, I can say, all right, there's growth, there's direction, there's potential. Eventually, we got to win it, though.
Yeah, just to kind of backtrack on what you just said, though. You said finish 10 points back for the season. But it's not just any team. It's the Leicester City. It's the team you beat twice, then dropped 16 points since you last played them. That right there is just unacceptable.
I'm going to call you out right now because you have been Leicester bashing for the last few weeks. You haven't even realized it. You've been doing it like subconsciously. You're like, oh, the league's a down year. Leicester, yeah, they're winning the league, but it should have been us. Leicester only lost 3 games all season long. I went back and looked since the Invincible team in 03-04. Only 3 other teams have lost as little or less. Chelsea last season, Chelsea the year after the Invincible 04-05 lost 1 match, and Man City a couple years back. Three teams have only done that. So they're at consistent level with the Premier League championships over the last decade and a half. So they had a great season. They had a championship-worthy season. And you're talking about them like they're second class, which this year they were the most consistent for sure. They lost 3 games, dude. That's incredible.
I will give you that, and I will give credit where credit is due. They had a very good season. They took care of business when people thought they were going to drop. Just like me and you, well, would always talk. We're like, it's only a matter of time until I start losing. Skid. They just kept on trucking. So I give them that. But on the flip side, as a Gunner fan, I think taking two away from them, especially at second meeting on Valentine's Day, then dropping 16 points and they dropped 6. When we weren't too far behind when we played them at that time. I mean, we kind of controlled our own destiny and kind of pissed it away. So I give credit to Leicester City, but we also pissed it away because we had a legit chance.
Oh, we did, and we all know that. That's why so many of us are disappointed and frustrated with the season overall. But you can't bash Leicester, a team that only loses 3 matches in the season is a remarkable season, and they're definitely worthy champions. But we should have competed closer than 10 points for sure. We should have been in that. We should have pressured them better than we did, which was not at all.
Yeah, I'm just frustrated because this was our year. We had a great chance for this year, and we pissed it away. I mean, yeah, it's second place finish, but like you said, we're 10 points back.
Well, hopefully next year.
It's just another. Yeah, I mean, it's just another year. I mean, we've had this for 12 years now. I mean,
yeah.
One of these years we have to win it.
Yeah.
I mean, all these Gunners fans are happy with a freaking second place finish. Oh, it's our top finish in 11 seasons, and you guys want Wenger out, and look what we did. We still want Wenger out because 11 seasons, your best finish is second. That's not good enough for Arsenal. We are a top 3, top 4 club. That's not. Second place isn't good enough. Second place is first loser. Second place is not good enough.
We as Gunner fans consider ourselves a top club in Europe. And to be considered that, and people elsewhere consider us that as well, with our facilities, with our financial resources, we're a big club. We're a big European club. To not win a title in 11 years is disgraceful at best. So yes, we're happy about finishing over Tottenham. We're happy with with finishing second, considering where we were 4 weeks ago, wondering if we were even going to be top 4 at that time. So we're happy about that, but we are not content with playing meaningless football towards the end.
If you are content with this type of finish, then what kind of fan are you? You should want to win. You should want your team to win. You should want your team to hoist a trophy other than the FA Cup. You should want to be able to compete against Barcelona, not go out there and just get embarrassed on the pitch, on national television, worldwide television. Everybody's watching. You just get embarrassed by Barcelona. I mean, at some point in time. Go ahead.
4-1 or 5-1 on aggregate against Barcelona. And there were Gunners fans like, well, we held our own. No, you lost 2-0 and 3-1. So you lost 5-1 in aggregate to one team. That's embarrassing.
It is. So I don't know. There's clearly two different types of Gunners fans. There's the Gunners fans who are happy with this, celebrating. And now look, we both celebrated too because this was the best case scenario on the very last day of the season for us. So we were happy with it. But as a season as a whole and what we did this year and where we finished, you can't possibly be happy with it.
Too many fans are. And I, you know me, I'm a sucker for comment sections. And I was all over them after the game. And there was people talking about, look, Giroud is a world-class striker. Look, Arsene Wenger was leading us in the right direction. And I'm smashing my head on the coffee table, giving myself multiple concussions over the stupidity that I'm reading. And to call themselves fellow Gooners is questionable at best. It's not a good look.
It is. I mean, that's like, you know, with you being a Michigan fan or me being a Buckeye fan, we're happy with Fiesta Bowl championship, or you know, one of the not top 3 now bowls or top 4 bowls. Or we're happy with the second place finish in the Big Ten. Hey, we're almost there. We're only finished a game back or 2 games back, but we got whooped. It's top teams, but we beat everybody else. I mean, that's not. I mean, at some point in time, you want to hoist trophies. You want to say as a fan that you root for a team that for that year was the best. When was the last time we were the best?
Before I was even a fan.
Yes.
Well,
way before you even considered being a soccer fan.
Yeah. So we'll see what we do this summer. Again, I was happy to hear that he is at least saying he's going to do something with his squad. We'll see if that actually happens. Well, let's move on now.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I mean, we have our hopes up. They told us it's money to spend. We hear the rumor mill moving. We'd see all the stuff posted on Facebook, that Mirror post, and
screw Mirror. I hate Mirror.
I know, but
so we
can only keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah. So Championship Sunday did go down. There were other matches. Swansea and Man City drew 1-1, which pretty much secured Man City a top 4 finish, which they ended up doing. Southampton beat Crystal Palace 4-1. Watford and Sunderland tied 2-2. Everton beat Norwich 3-0 in Tim Howard's last match for Everton. Clean sheet for the guy. Great end for him. Stoke.
Did you see his post?
I sent it to you. I messaged it to you.
You did?
Yes.
Oh.
Of course I saw it.
Yeah, you did. You did.
He always thinks he's breaking me news, and he never is. But yes, I saw it.
Most of the time, I'm breaking news.
Never.
But this one time, I'll give it to you.
We have the same apps. All the same apps. We get the same news at the same time. Anyways, West Brom and Liverpool drew 1-1. Chelsea and Leicester drew 1-1, which I called on point. I said I did not see a winner here.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, Man United beat Bournemouth 3-1. Man United and Bournemouth played on Tuesday. It was on Championship Sunday at Old Trafford. There was a bomb scare. There was a suspicious package in the stands, and they had to suspend the match. The police came in, had a controlled explosion to blow it up, and then the next day we found out it was left there by the police during a training exercise. I mean, this is a scary thing.
That's Manchester United for you.
This is a scary event, obviously. This is something not to joke about usually. But you hold a training the day before a match, which you should do, and I'm all for, obviously. But then you leave supplies behind, forget you had an exercise the day before, forget that match. Like, you don't have special – like in the Navy, you and I are both sailors. I'm active duty. You're a vet. When we do training, we have different colors on the weapons or items that are for training only. Do you not have that over there? Do you not do that for the police in England? And that's common sense stuff. That's definitely our training exercise stuff. Let's just get it out of here. Match resume. So they turned a huge deal. Ended up being nothing.
I mean, no training written on it. No for training purpose only on it. No different color. No
blue stripe down the side.
No checklist. Yeah, or no checklist saying, all right, do we have all our stuff, all our things that we used? Oh, nope. We're missing one. They'll find it tomorrow.
They'll find it tomorrow and freak out and scare everyone off. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny now to look back at it and laugh, but at the time, because I remember when you told me about it, they weren't talking about it when I was listening to the Gooners game. So they weren't mentioning it. So I was asking you hey, what's going on with it? And come to find out, it was just a freaking training tool.
Yeah, I'm monitoring it all day on Twitter. I'm scrolling through what's going on, what's happening. I'm watching all the games. I'm watching the Goal Zone on NBCSN, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And they keep talking about it like it's a huge deal. And the very next day, they're like, "Oh yeah, that was one of our guys. Sorry, our bad."
Oh, right. Oh, my bad. Ha ha ha. No, that's not funny to joke about, especially when how many terrorist attacks or how many ISIS attacks have there been?
I mean, France
in the past couple months.
France is still fresh in our minds. That happened right outside of the stadium.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
this isn't something to play around with in today's world. It's a very real threat. So to forget something like to not have your training equipment marked or a checklist like you said, and to forget that in a stadium, that could cause massive panic. Now, shouts out to Bournemouth and Man United fans for exiting calm, cool, collective, and there not being a scene. But that might not always happen. You could have a wide panic around the stadium, and you have a bigger crisis on your hands. So they need to fix their shit over there. Obviously, that's ridiculous. But that was our championship Sunday.
Yeah, that was. Not good.
The table finished Leicester first with 81 points, Arsenal second, 71, Tottenham third, 70 points, and Man City was in fourth, 66. Man U was fifth. They'll be in Europa League next year. Southampton actually jumped West Ham for sixth. So I'm pretty sure they're in Europa League next year as well. West Ham is out of it.
Yep.
The final three.
I just kind of feel bad for West Ham. I mean, they went from having a chance to drop or to jump in the top four to they fall to seventh and don't even make the Europa League.
You feel bad for a team that is now pillaging everybody's talent and lucked into one of the best stadiums in the country, a brand new Olympico stadium that's going to be phenomenal. You feel bad for them, really? It's kind of funny.
I feel bad for
they
Pyatt.
Choked.
And Andy Carroll and his man bun.
I don't even think Carroll's. I don't even think he's a talent, man. The fact that he scored a hat trick on us is embarrassing. Pyatt, I feel bad for, but I mean, he's getting looked at now by by Barcelona. So, sorry, my bad. I'm going to feel bad for Payet when he's getting looked at by one of the best clubs in the world. No, get out of here. They choked down the stretch, and to finish 7th is kind of laughable. At the bottom, we had our relegation teams, Newcastle, Norwich, and Aston Villa. So they are now gone. They are officially no longer Premier League teams. And we have the FA Cup final tomorrow. Manchester United is taking on Crystal Palace. And I only see that going one way.
How so?
Manchester United. I mean, Crystal Palace had a very lackluster season, dude. They finished 15th with 42 points. With all their offensive weapons, I'm very disappointed in their season.
Yeah. Just looking at the table as a whole, it was kind of an ass backwards season.
Yeah.
To say nonetheless.
Aston Villa relegated last place. Leicester City first, champions. What the hell is going on out here?
What the hell is going on out here?
American football references, our football podcast. I got to do it. So that's how the season ended. Leicester are champions, if you can believe it still. I still have a hard time even saying it.
Oh, dude. I have a hard time giving him credit. What are you talking about?
And now our podcast will shift focus. We're going to be heavy into the international stage. We have Copa America coming up. We're going to discuss our Copa America squad that was been selected so far. Next week, we'll look at the Euros a little bit. I have some problems with the England squad, and I'll address that in another episode. We'll shift our focus mainly to international play from here on out until next season starts. And, of course, we're going to have our rumor mill and our transfer news. We're definitely breaking down who's going where in the EPL, who's leaving the EPL for big clubs, European. And if Zlatan signs for LA Galaxy, that's going to be big news here, too.
Oh, my God.
That's going to be –
I'll lose my mind, dude. I will lose my – you know what, if that happens. But Jesus, if he signs for an MLS team, why?
And we're also going to look at for next year for our pick'em games in our table. I want to bring in some of our friends and some known soccer fans and people to compete against us. So if you're interested in doing that, let us know. We want at least like a 10-team table. I think that's a realistic pot.
That'd be cool to get some more people in and kind of have our own table to kind of go off of.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
It'd be a lot of fun. We'll just pick EPL matches. That's kind of our focus is shifting more towards EPL because we are the American Gooners Podcast. We were very broad at first. We're going to be a little more selective from here on out. But during this down period, obviously, with the Copa America, us being two Team USA fans, we're going to be talking about them quite a bit. And their play.
Yes, I want to break down their 22-man training they're having. And I want to break down who is freaking missing from that list.
I think you can all guess. If you listen to this podcast at all, you can guess who Morgan is freaking out about not being on the list. And he has a gripe. He has a legitimate gripe. I won't lie. The struggle is real for our boy.
I'm at a loss for words. Not even a call-up.
Save it for next week.
Not even for today. Oh, my God.
Save it for next week. I'll give you the soapbox for next week. Right now, we're going to finish up with our goal, save, and fail of the week. As always, we're going to get our official table out from this end of this year, and we'll crown our champion. I have no idea who it is yet. I haven't tallied it up yet. I'm sure it's me at this point. Almost guaranteed. And then next year, if you're interested, we want at least 10 players. If we get more, sweet. We're not going to be bad about that. But 10 would be a good start to our American Gooners Championship title. Be a lot of fun.
I can think about 4 or 5 people that'll probably
Unfortunately
be
for
willing to
me,
join in.
the 4 or 5 that I'm thinking of are all the same people you're probably thinking of. So I'm gonna have to scour my list and be like, hey,
Maybe.
I'll tell you what. My wife says she wants to do it next year, and here's how she wants to pick. I have to get on FIFA. It's gonna be FIFA 17 at that point. Scroll through each team. She's gonna look at their jerseys, and she's gonna pick based off that. I'm giving you a heads up now. So if she wins,
Like it's a March Madness tournament.
yeah, exactly. Every week I'm gonna do that. I'm like, all right, here's her jerseys. Have you not? We're in week 33. You haven't memorized these yet. What are you doing?
Should be fun. I'll see my wife wants to do it also. And to be honest with you, she'll probably pick the exact same way.
Yeah, exactly. So get on FIFA. Show me their jerseys. This is FIFA 15. What are you talking about? Not even the same teams in the league. All right, we'll wrap up with our goal, save and fail of the week. Morgan, who you got for a goal of the week this year? Or week, excuse me.
My goal of the week, Gonzalo Higuain of Napoli. The ball was played to him in the middle, was about on top of the box. He had a nice chest trap and a beautiful bicycle kick, put it right into the corner. I was going back and forth between that one and one that you have, so I went with that one. So my goal of the week, Gonzalo Higuain of Napoli, this bicycle.
And he's a name who has been linked to Arsenal since I've become a fan. I would like to see that actually happen. He's a talented striker. You know, I like my guys more pacey usually, but he's a quality finisher for sure. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. My goal of the week, though, is Attila Turan from Reims. It had to be a 40-yard strike. It was
easily.
It was easily a 40-yard strike from the left side, and it went straight down the middle, right over the goalkeeper. And the goalkeeper kind of get like alligator armed it, as we call in football, American football. He alligator armed it over his head and right into the goal. 40 yards out. It was a beautiful strike, though.
Yeah, that was one that I had written down, so I'm glad we talked about it before we started the podcast. But the reason why I had it was because I mostly wanted to rip the keeper.
Hold on. Hey, what's over here? What's over here? Come here. Okay, go ahead.
Because I wanted to rip the keeper, because you should never get beaten right over the top of your head. I mean, it was right. It was right over him.
Yeah.
I don't know how you let that ball go in. You have plenty of time to see it coming. I don't know if he mistimed his jump, or like you said, he had alligator arms, or he just had short arms. So I don't know. I can say I never got beat like that in a game. Now in practice, I might have got chipped a couple times, and I had to run because of it, but never in a game. But I have long orangutan arms, so I'll make up for it. But you should never get beat like that.
Morgan Garber is the best keeper you've never heard about if you ask him. I guarantee you. I'm the greatest. I'm a bad man.
Dude, I was the greatest in the Midwest till I was injured in my senior year.
Oh, here we go. Injury sad song. Oh, bring out the mic.
Just like Booby Miles in Friday Night Lights, it went downhill from there.
Oh, Booby Miles. You compare yourself to Booby Miles. All right. Where's my violin at? The world's smallest violin. Who do you have for save of the week?
My save of the week. And I hate doing this because he's plays for the Mexican national team. Guillermo Ochoa for Malaga in the La Liga. He had 2 really nice saves. One of them was really impressive. It was like point blank range, and it wasn't like right at him. He kind of had to dive to his left. So again, fast twitch muscles, quick reaction from point blank range is always some impressive goal, especially when they're not right at the keeper. I always hate it when they kick it right at the keeper, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's a great save." No, it wasn't. It was right at the keeper. But I got to give Ochoa his credit. I hate to do it. I have to give him his credit. He's a very underrated keeper as a whole. I hate giving him credit. I hate giving anybody on my Mexican team credit, but he's a very underrated keeper. That was a great save.
Come on, bring in Hernandez to Arsenal. Chicharito. We want Chicharito.
No, I don't want Chicharito.
My save of the week comes from Real Madrid. Keylor Navas. They had a cross into the box right in front of goal. Guy was unmarked. I don't know how that happened with their back four. He was unmarked, got a clean head on it. Navas was going to his left. Ball was going to his right, and he stuck his leg out and managed to save it. Real Madrid finished second in the league, but they did win this weekend. Barcelona ended up being champions. So Barcelona topped off our championship list. We had Barcelona in La Liga, Juventus in Serie A, Bayern in Bundesliga, Leicester City in EPL, and PSG ran away with it in French League One. So those were our 5 big champions of the year.
Which the EPL was the only one to have a different champion for the past 5 years now.
And La Liga had Atletico 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, it was 3 Barcelona. Yeah, it was 3. It was 3 or 4 Barcelona, and then Atletico had one a few years ago.
Juventus has stormed through. Bayern always wins Bundesliga, and PSG is the new Olympic Leones of French League One, where they always win. But we'll see what happens when Zlatan leaves for LA Galaxy. Who's your fail of the week?
Oh, my fail of the week could have easily been the man's United Police. But I'll go with one that happened a few weeks ago. You guys might have seen this. Zach, I know you saw it. Romeo Parks of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. It's a United Soccer League team. Him and another player for the New York Red Bulls too. Him and another player both got a red card. And as the Red Bull player was turning around and walking away, Romeo Parks turned around and just started to keep them right in the back for no reason, just out of pure anger. It was just horrendous. It's something you never want to see on the pitch. So my fail of the week is Romeo Parks because that was ridiculous.
And the player had to get stretched off the field too. It's absolute garbage.
Yep.
You got red carded and took it out your frustrations out on another player by studding him in the back. Absolute garbage. Be a man. Throw a punch.
Throw a punch. Yeah, because that's better.
At least he'll see it coming. You can hit him, kick him in the back. It's just, here's the pansy. Hockey rules, man. Let's go. Throw the gloves. Oh, they don't have gloves. Shit, wrong sport. My fail of the week is, of course, Tottenham Hotspurs. As always, for 21 straight years, you are beneath us. London is red. It'll never be blue. Tottenham is shit. Thank you, Tottenham, for blowing it and getting us second place. Thank you.
Not just blowing it. Getting beat 5-1.
To a 10-man.
Team down. A 10-man relegated team. Get out of here with that mess. You're on second place team. You shouldn't even be top 4 after that.
You won't even get out of into the Sweet 16 of Champions League. Can we call it that now? Can we bring some Americanized to Champions League? Sweet 16. Boom.
Sweet 16. They want to make it a round of 32. We're going to call it the round of 32.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is before it.
The group stage. There we go.
Yeah. Group stage.
I was panicking to find a word. That's what I was doing there, guys.
That's why I said round of 32. It sounded better.
I was like, keep talking to the clicks. Keep talking to the clicks. That's our show for this week. Pick'em is obviously done until next season when EPL starts back up again. But we're gonna keep going. We got international news. We got transfer news. When July hits, we'll have preseason tours to talk about. I want to talk about how the U.S. can have a U.S. Open Cup that has 5 leagues in it. But we can't figure out a way to have promotion and relegation eventually. I want that discussion because I am heated about this. I obviously want to hear.
Yeah, because I brought that up to you last night.
Well, Pro Rel has been a big talk on Sirius XM FC, but they never mentioned about the U.S. Open Cup and how many leagues compete in it, and how teams from lower leagues have won it recently, like as 2011, 2013 kind of stuff. And we can't get promotion relegation. You can't get a FC Cincinnati chance to promote into the MLS.
Oh,
with 30,000
Which, speaking of FC Cincinnati, they are bringing in Crystal Palace to do a international friendly with them. You have an EPL team coming here to Cincinnati to play a Tier 2 team.
The fact that they're behind teams like Sacramento in the newly created Detroit FC, which, I'm a Detroit guy. I'm not cheering for them, though. I'm a sporting guy in soccer here in MLS. We got to call it that here. But they're just getting created now, and they're going to get an MLS chance before FC Cincinnati, who has the highest attendance in all of USL. Garbage. We'll definitely get into those topics coming up this summer to kind of hold us over until EPL kicks back off, which we're nervous about. But that's our show this week. We'll be back next week with some Copa America talk. Like us on Facebook, American Gooners Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at USA Gooner Pod. That Twitter's blowing up all the time, guys. I'm telling you, I'm very active. Let us know what you think. We will respond. If you have inputs or suggestions, we're always open here. We're willing to adapt here. We're very listener friendly, as always. So go ahead and like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and share us out with your friends who are soccer fans. We want people interacting with us. We want to get your voices out as well. And we want to bring on some people to talk some football with us. It'd be good times. But till next week, you guys have a great time.